Hi guys, this is going to be my response to bigstar1000's A to Z letter, one record from each letter. So I'll just crack on with it because there's quite a lot of stuff to get through. So first off, I don't know whether anybody else does this, but I have all my numbers separately. So first one is 13th Floor Elevators and Easter Everywhere, which I think is by far their best album. For A, is Moon Safari. Classic. B was a tricky one because I've got so many B's, but I thought if I had to pick any one artist, it would be David Bowie. So this is one of his newer albums, Heathen. This is kind of first getting back to being good again, I suppose, after a bit of a dry spell. Another kind of hero of mine, Jarvis Cocker. For C. D again was another one, so many choices. DJ Shadow, Daft Punk, Death from Above, Bob Dylan. But I thought I'd go for this. Nobody else seems to have shown it yet, which is Darwin D's, which is a fantastic album. He's kind of like a one-man Strokes, basically. E, again, I didn't have a huge choice for E, so I went with Eminem. His first two albums are really good, but I kind of went off him after that. F, only one choice really, Flaming Lips. This is the Record Store Day one they did with Stardust and the White Dwarfs. Which actually, their Stardust and the White Dwarfs, their solo album's really good. Definitely worth getting. Don't have it on vinyl though, which I'm kind of looking for. G, Gong. I think this is probably my favourite album of theirs, called You. H, another hero, George Harrison. So I've chosen something different this time. This is, well, not one of his better albums, I must admit, but a more interesting one, if in fact it was him that did it. I, Incredible String Band. Hangman's Beautiful Daughter. And J, Michael Jackson. This is one of his later albums again, but there's some cracking stuff on this as well. This one had it Unbreakable and You Rock My World and stuff on it. It was very good. Scandinavian band called The Knife. This Deep Cuts. This is the one that Jose Gonzalez? Yeah, ruined with his version of Heartbeats. But this is a really good album. Some great stuff on this. L, for Last of the Shadow Puppets. Age of the Understatement. This is one of the guys out of Arctic Monkeys. This is another Record Store Day release. This is MGMT's Congratulations. I actually think this is better than their first album. It's got a scratch off cover, but I've managed to avoid the temptation of doing that. N, Joanna Newsom. This is her in the Y Street Band. P, another band that nobody else seems to have mentioned and maybe aren't seen as being that cool, but I really like them. The Polyphonic Spree. I've got all three of their albums. This is their first one. that they kind of got together and wrote and recorded in 3 days. But I think they were kind of doing what bands like Arcade Fire and stuff are doing now, but they were doing it, 10 years ago. If not longer, it must have been, no, Polyphonic Spree, maybe even 15 years ago. Röyksopp, again, would have been a lot of choices, Radiohead, but I thought I'd go with Röyksopp, another Scandinavian band. S would be the Strokes. T was another odd letter, sorry, so I thought I'd go for Twin Freaks, which is an album by, well, it's Paul McCartney and Freelance Hellraiser, and the Freelance Hellraiser did a lot of kind of dance mixes, and he was of Paul McCartney songs, and it's well worth tracking down. There's some good stuff on it. U again was a tricky one. I went with the Undertones. V, bit of a no-brainer, Vanilla Fudge, fantastic album. W, so well, there's a few choices, Brian Wilson, Dennis Wilson, but I went for Stevie Wonder. And Songs in the Key of Life. X, I only had one choice, so this is Express 2's Musicism. I'm not sure how it's pronounced, but this is like a big heavy kind of box set version. It's very nice. Another great album, lots of good guest vocalists and things on that. David Byrne and people. Y, again, didn't have many choices, but Tom York is a Razor album. It's got a nice kind of textured sleeve. And finally Z with 07. Who were kind of like a British version of Air, which was the French band that I showed for the letter A. So that's my A to Z for bigstar1000. I hope he likes it and hope everybody else likes it. And yeah, please leave some comments.